all these artists, these amazing, famous artists are going to be here in Timmins. Jade, how do you feel about this?
It's pretty crazy, I think. I think it's about time everyone got together and came to Timmins, don't you think?
Oh, oh man, I think it's going to be amazing having you here in Timmins. I think it's going to be just an insane crowd. Of course, you've been to Northern Ontario before, so you're not a stranger to being up here in Northern Ontario. What are some of the things that, really stand out when you are playing like a smaller market versus, doing like a big stadium? Because you just came off of a pretty big tour.
Yeah, I think honestly it's almost more fun sometimes to go to the small towns because, on a tour you don't always have the opportunity to go and route that just because it's normally way out of the way and, a bus costs a lot of money. And we don't make a lot, contrary to popular belief. We don't, but getting an opportunity to come up and play a town like this and Timmins, I think every Canadian knows Timmins because of Shania.
Oh, yeah.
I had a buddy who moved there in elementary school and he never came back too. So that was my first, kind of hearing about Timmins as my buddy moved to Timmins and then he never came back. I was like, dang. I was like, we thought, because I grew up in Millbrook, Ontario, I thought that was like 8,000 miles away from, where I was, but it's not that far, to be honest. So I'm excited. I mean, I've been hearing about it all my life. It's a sacred ground, sacred to the Canadian Queen. Having come from Timmins, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm excited to be up there. I really am.
And I got to tell you, the response you're going to get is going to be phenomenal. I mean, I've only been here since January, but they call it, the city with a heart of gold.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Mining town here. And I got to tell you, people here are oddly nice.
Yeah,
Oddly nice. I think I'm not going to say I'm a terrible driver, but, only one person has honked at me so far. And to me, that seems like a record for being somewhere new.
Hey, that's not bad, man.
Hey, no, not at all. So, yeah, I think it's going to be just a huge response. I think a lot of people are going to be over the moon to see you performing on the country lineup night at Rock on the River here in Timmins. Do you mind if we talk about theatrics a little bit? Like, I always think, you reach a point where a show is no longer just about going up and performing and doing your songs. A show starts to evolve into this visual experience as well. Some of the most memorable moments from seeing a concert or a show, sometimes those moments are like small, simple things like bubble machines going off at the right time. Sometimes you have the extreme part of it where, there's pyrotechnics, launching fire into the air. Sometimes it's just everybody coming together and singing together like an off the floor experience. Theatrics can come in so many shapes or forms. What are some of your favorite ways to do like a theatrical moment on stage?
I think it all comes down to the music. So it's important for me at least to have the instrumentation on stage, demonstrate what they can do, whether that be a fiddle or a steel. In my opinion, in country music, that's kind of the root of it all. It started in with that kind of instrumentation. So for me, highlighting that and kind of bringing that to the forefront of the show in certain moments is pretty important to me. So that's kind of how I highlight it. I'd say is just making sure that you're hearing sonically what country music is really all about.
Yeah. So just giving those artists that solo moment there to kind of give the audience, like that experience of like, oh my goodness, because sometimes you are just absolutely blown away by someone's talent, right? I mean, it is incredible because you're seeing people do things that a lot of people, they don't really know what's going on behind it. They don't know the years of practice and the failure that leads someone to being at that level, to be able to go out in front of all these people and just all of a sudden have the spotlight solely on them. It's got to be a nerve-wracking experience, right? Do you find, even though you've been doing this hundreds of times now, do you still get a little bit nervous before you go out and play?
Every time I do. I think that And, I'm still screwing up. I mean, I not that long ago I was in Calgary and absolutely biffed a solo, and it was so bad that a gentleman in the front row was like, "Oh boy!" So it was that kind of bad. But you learn from those things, and you kind of appreciate that you're human. You make mistakes, and our show is really organic that way. There's no computers or anything up on stage. It's a real live band, and there's going to be mistakes, and mostly me making them. The band is fantastic, and they're pretty bulletproof for the most part. But I still screw up, and that just kind of makes it human. It makes it a human show, and you just kind of one of those things you have to accept. When I go out there, I'm like, hey, like I'm gonna come as close to perfect as I possibly can. But if God has other plans for me that day, then that's just how it's gonna be.
And hey, to give you credit, right? I mean, to go up there and not only perform with an instrument, but to be the front man singing the lyrics, right? You almost play the instrument through a style of dissociation, right? Because I don't know if it rings true to you, but remembering the lyrics anytime I've ever performed, that's always like the front and center part of my mind. Like I'm up there and you're performing, but I feel like a lot of it just sort of becomes dissociated. So to your credit, man, like it's not easy to get up there, play a song, and then also be providing the lyrics because that's a lot of input or a lot of output on your end. There's a lot of pieces moving there. Uh, so yeah, man. I think there's always a little bit of room to make mistakes, and you're absolutely right. Roll with it, have fun with it, because I think that's more important than being totally perfect. I think that's part of that live show experience there. So now to kind of get inside your head a little bit here, Jade.
Yeah, let's do it.
I've been backstage enough times. I've been lucky enough to hang out with some people before they would perform, and you always notice these very different situations before someone's going to perform. I've been in a green room where all members of the band were standing in a corner, each holding a shot in their hand, and they would have fruit and they would throw it at each other. And if you spilled the shot, you would take it, and they're having a really good time. They're laughing, they're hooting, they're hollering, and then all of a sudden they get the call, guitars are on, and they're playing. I've also been backstage where not a peep. The band is sitting there, they're quiet, they're in their thoughts, they're thinking about what's coming up, they're preparing themselves for the performance. So between these two extremes, where does Jade Eagleson land just before, a half hour before the show is going to start? Where are you in your head? What are you doing backstage?
I mean, I kind of I like it a little more quiet normally. I mean, the band will all be chatting and joking around and stuff, but yeah, we keep it pretty easy going for the most part. And then right before the show, we go out and do a quick prayer, and then we hit the stage, and there you go. It's pretty. I think my backstage experience compared to some other artists is pretty tame. Not really any drinking or anything going on. We're just kind of getting ready. I think they were just all really grateful to play music and be in that scene and get excited. It really is exciting before you get out there.
Oh, and to be honest, I always think, quiet, that's the style to go. Because when you do see bands getting a little too rowdy ahead of time, that's when, mistakes aren't as forgivable.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe if you stopped 3 shots ago,
Yeah. I mean,
you
when
would have
you're
remembered the second half of the lyrics to that song.
when you're a fan paying for a ticket, and that's important. I don't want to be in any sort of way out there. I got to make mistakes organically. You add that into the mix, it's not good for me.
All right. So before we wrap things up here, Jade, there's something I like to ask artists, as sort of like an end to the interview. And it's a simple question, but it's a thinker.
Yeah, I
So
like it.
For Jade Eagleson, right here, right now, what's something that you're just incredibly grateful for? And then to follow that up, what is something you're really looking forward to?
I think the fans, I think especially coming out and doing a tour, I think that when you can actually see real hard ticket fans that believe in you and your music. I think that that's something I'll never take for granted. It's a really special thing. Man, I'm so sorry. There's an HVAC technician here, and I have to give me 1 second.
Oh no, put them on. I got questions for
Hey,
them
what's
too.
cooking?
Hey, I'm sorry. Do you
No
have
worries.
a lighter I can borrow?
A lighter? I might. Give me 1 second.
My man, you are going to fit in right here in Timmins. That is the most common question I get asked.
Do you have a lighter?
I moved to Timmins. I think that's the number one question people ask me.
There we go. We got one. There we go. We got two. We'll give them one of these.
You got one to spare. Yeah, just make sure it's not the one that's full. Yeah.
There we go. Here you go, brother.
So much. I
No
gotta use it
problem.
to get my torches going.
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, got a good reason. Hey, he's got to get the
That's
torches
true.
going. Heck
Yeah, it's a cold day here, I'll tell you.
So where are you right now?
I'm in Nashville right now.
Yeah, yeah. So what's it about? Like 41? What?
I don't know, actually. I think it's probably around 41. So
See,
it'd
I'm
be like maybe 5 degrees Celsius. It's not that cold.
Yeah, I'm a hybrid myself. I'm a dual citizen. So when I was a little kid, I got U.S. citizenship. My mom's a landed immigrant here in Canada.
Oh, no kidding.
So I'm one of the few people who can actually tell what Fahrenheit the difference is. And you want to know something really weird about Canadians, Jade? This is totally off topic, but for some reason, right, we use Celsius, but not when a pool. When it comes to pools.
Yeah.
All right, we only measure pools in Fahrenheit. I don't know why we do this.
I don't know. My grandfather was always in Fahrenheit. So like we'd have the thermometer in the kitchen and he he was just I'd be like, what's the temperature? And he'd be like, oh, it's like 70 something. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, now I know, but it's pretty funny. I guess they just in recent years switched over. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah, because as a Canadian who spends a lot of time in the U.S. and in Nashville, do things like that still sort of trip you up? Like hearing the temperatures being put out there in Fahrenheit? Like, are you still kind of left like going, all right, well, what's that in Celsius?
Man, it took me for my first like 2 years down here. I tried to like tell my American friends, I'm like, hey, this makes way more sense because 0 is freezing. Anything below 0 is super cold. Don't go there. And then anything above it, you're starting to get better. It makes sense, right? But they're like,
Yeah.
and most of them agree. They're like, yeah, but like I'm American, so
I
I'm gonna do this. But it
definitely
makes
got some
sense.
American friends who are in the same boat. They're like, no, Fahrenheit, it's like around this number, things are freezing. I'm like, again, 0 just makes way more
My
sense.
favorite thing though is that when we get to minus 40, we're like, it's so cold that everyone just gives up. It's like, say, hey, we're agreed. When it gets to this temperature, it's over. Like we're not even gonna try to tell you how cold it is.
That's kind of where the two of them begin to converge a little bit.
Yeah, I
That
think
minus
minus
40
40.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trust me, if you've had that experience, then you're going to fit in right well here in Timmins. I mean, it
Oh,
was
I
minus.
have. I think it was the year before we left Calgary. It got to minus 40 and our heater went out. It just conked out. But I will say the technicians came super fast. And I bashed him for a while, but some of that stuff is a little outside of my realm of knowledge. So I was like, I'd probably better call somebody in here rather than do it myself and freeze my family out. So luckily someone came. They fixed it.
All right. Well, before you got the knock for that lighter to be lent out.
Yeah, I almost got out of it.
we got you're grateful for the fans, which that's beautiful, right? Because it's really nice when someone can recognize the importance of fans. Because especially when you start off in music, you slowly kind of learn like friends, family, they don't equal fans.
No.
You look to these people for validation and excitement, and sometimes you're kind of left like, does anyone care what I'm doing? But then you start to meet those fans. The ones who are just blown away by what you do, the ones who show up. Doesn't matter what the weather is, they're going to be there. They can't wait to see you play. Like that's a feeling that I would say you can't find that anywhere else. Like that's got to be like a level of adrenaline you'd almost have to go skydiving to feel in another source. So
Big time.
with that, what's something that you're looking forward to? What is Jade Eagleson really looking forward to doing?
And I'm excited, going back to the fan thing. I think that when you experience that, when you go out and you have people singing your songs back to you, I think the thing is you want to keep growing that. So that's kind of what is on my to-do list, and do it down here in the U.S. as well. I mean, it's like starting over again. But I grew up on a farm, so I'm not really too afraid of work. So I'm willing to do that to feel what I feel up in Canada, kind of all over the world. I mean, it's a special thing, and I'm very driven to try that out. But I'm also, happy to go back to Canada and hang out with my friends there, and hang up my hat there. It's a beautiful feeling to experience that, and you just kind of want to keep expanding and growing it, and someday hopefully play at an arena. I mean, that's the big dream. I've been on those tours with Cody Johnson and a couple others where I got to see just what that's like, and it's so incredible. It really is incredible watching it side stage and seeing that many people invested in a song that you wrote or you sang on, and it's really magnificent. And I hope someday that I can experience that.
Now, to kind of go back to theatrics, I think one of the greatest tools under the belt is that moment when you and the band slowly bring everything down, and then you just let the audience carry it for a little while. Do you have a particular song where, you kind of bring everything down for a moment, leave a hook unsung just so you can hear the audience shouting that back to you before you come back in with a boom?
Yeah, there's a couple of them we do that. Got Your Name on It. It's probably one. The last chorus I'll let some of the fans sing that, and that's pretty awesome. And then I didn't even think to do this, but on Do It Anyway, we're in Vancouver, and they were so loud that I couldn't even hear it. So I was like, you know what, I'm in future, I'm just gonna let people sing that. But Vancouver is responsible for that. It was a crazy show, and they were so loud, but couldn't hear anything when they sang back the Do It Anyway line. It was pretty special, and that hits you right in the chest when that stuff happens. It really does.
All right. Well, Timmins, you heard it. Vancouver has set the bar. And
I think Timmins can do it.
I want Timmins to knock that bar down and
I'll tell
just
you what,
give you one heck of a good receiving here, man.
There might be a Shania song in the set for you guys.
Oh, dude, that would be a pretty hot move to do while you're in Timmins. Yeah.
I have a list of like 3 of my top favorite artists, and she's always, up at the very top. She's very inspiring to me, and I've met her, I guess, twice now, and they say don't meet your heroes, but I think if anyone has a chance to meet her, they ought to, because she's a wonderful human being. Yeah, I hope I can do what she did out in the world someday. That's my dream.
Well, Jade, I'm meeting you for the first time today here in internet land, and I just want to say you are a very awesome gem for someone to have a conversation with, man. Like, I've really enjoyed talking to you. I think your responses have been really fun, and you just got a big smile on your face, man. And I like that, like you're here. Like, I've had interviews with artists where they're like, oh, all right, man, you're number 20 today.
Yeah.
Well, let's go get the questions in, get them out so I can do the next one, and like, it can be taxing. Absolutely. Especially when you're doing this again and again and again.
No, I like this, man. I like talking. When I actually, I don't know, I think that's all part of it, is that you get to talk about music. I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, Jade, I don't want to take up too much of your time here. I mean, I can't wait to see you here July 25th at Rock on the River here in Timmins, country music lineup night. And Jade, I think you're going to be awesome, man. Like, I'm really excited. I know I didn't even get to know that it was you I was talking to till about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, really? No kidding.
I was given, because they were like, oh, yeah, well, we tell Trip he's going to spill the beans. So, boy, I guess I like to talk too, man. So thank you so much for taking some time out of your day today to chat with me here today. And I can safely speak for everybody here at Country 93.1 and everybody here in Timmins. It's going to be incredible the moment you step out on stage during Rock on the River. I think it's going to be mind blowing, Jade. I cannot wait to see you.
I'm
And
excited, man.
I hope you get time to visit your buddy.
Yeah,
I'm sure he
man,
misses you.
I don't even know where he is. I don't even know if he's still there. I remember his grade 3, and then he just disappeared. And the teacher's like, he went to Timmins. That's all that was it. The case closed.
If you want, you can DM me his name. I'll go on the hunt for you.
Man, I
I'll see
only
if I
know
can
his
hunt him
first.
down for you.
Only know his first name, Tim from Timmins. That was it. That's
Tim from Timmins. You know, I have a Tim that calls me every single morning. Might be your guy. You
it
never
might
know.
be, man. It might be.
Jade Eagleson, thank you so much for your time today, man. This has been absolutely awesome, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and best of luck to you. I think, man, break through that wall in the United States. Like, you're going to be huge in the U.S., especially like you're spending time right now in Nashville. Enjoy. I know it's chilly there, but enjoy it. Enjoy it, because when you get back here, hopefully it's not going to look like what it looks like out here. Hang on. This thing
Let's
is really
see.
tight right now, but as you can
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
see, yeah, we had quite the snowstorm experience there.
That looks
happening the last
breezy.
few days. So, Ben, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today. I wish I came in here a little more prepared, but again, I did not get to even know I was talking to you until about,
Man,
like I say,
this was awesome. I think some of the best interviews are when it's just kind of you wing it. It's a lot of fun.
I appreciate that. I can tell you 9 out of 10 winging it. I think this one going well had a big part of it being you.
Oh man, I
So,
appreciate that.
thank you. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.